Guys, good evening guys again. This is Dong. Now we'll talk about here this so-called film-based camera right here. Now, why do we need to use this film-based camera at this time of modern age when we can probably use our digital camera? It's very easy for you. There's no film, free focusing, and you don't have to worry about your shutter speed and your aperture and everything. You have to do is the point and shoot. No, but this one is something that I really like about it because actually I had one of this when I was in high school and college that was given to me by my father, but that was stolen. And then when my first Zenit was stolen, okay, I suddenly had this um, thing of collecting Zenit camera. I have this three, Zenit camera. This one is Zenit 12, and Zenit E. This is an earlier model, and this is the one of the later models. Okay, Zenit 1, 2, 2. No? The numbers 1 and 2 already erased. Okay, but we'll focus more on these two cameras. Now, I like this one because it's a bit heavier. No, let's call it tank. They call it tank because it's a bit heavy. Made of metal. No, the construction is very heavy. Sturdy. And it's quite tough. Tough to use. So this one was made in Russia. But if you can focus this one. Okay, made in USSR, the Union Soviet Socialist Republic when it was still united during the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then when they were separated because of the glasnost and everything. Communist Russia was separated and Russia was left, and of course the Zenit camera was also the factory did not continue producing this camera. That's why this one is already classic. This one is made in 19 check this 1978. Okay, can you see the serial number right there? Is it clear? Yeah, 1978. First two numbers 7 and 8. This one, the Zenit 12. This was made in 1989. Okay, if you can clearly see the serial number right there. And this one is later model. This one is made in 1992. Okay, that's 1992. And this one is plastic, so this lighter. So going back to this Zenit E. Okay, it's very basic camera. You have to use, and um, you have there the winder. For your film. For you to advance the film from one frame to another. Just to pull this up, okay, for you to open this. There's a latch right here. Sorry, this is an older model, because this one you have to pull this up for you to open the back. But this one is different model. This is an earlier model, so even if you pull this one, nothing will happen. So there is now here a catch right here. Show you right there. It's clear. You have to pull this up, okay, for you to open the back, okay, for you to load the film. Now, loading the film is relatively easy, Just pull this up, okay, place the canister right here, and then pull the film. There is a portion right here that you have to fix, okay, and then don't forget to align the holes, the both sides of the camera. Sorry, both sides of the films, okay, for this ratchet, or this sprocket, and then wind this up. Okay, wind this. Probably two exposures, and then time for you to close it. And then you have to set your film advancer to 0. Okay, so you have to manually turn this either clockwise or counterclockwise. So there's a pointer right there. I think it's visible. It's triangle right there, pointer. So you have to set the 0. Okay, the pointer should be pointing to that 0, so meaning that you're 0. So this is your first film, and then expose it, and then there second film, okay, and then your third film, okay, third picture, and so on and so forth. Okay, now it's so easy for you to adjust the shutter speed right here. Shutter speed, all you have to do is to lift it up. There is a marker right there, off center, that black one, okay. I think it's visible. Camera or our already focus. You just have to lift this one, okay, and then this the bulb, align it to the pointer, meaning you're now using the bulb. So the exposure will now you have the control of the exposure for how many seconds you'd like to expose the film, okay, like this one. If I'll open this one, I'll show you. You just press the shutter release right there, and then you can see the shutter is open, no? So the exposure will depend on how many seconds you'd like it to be exposed, the film to be exposed. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, so on and so forth. And then just release it, okay, and then the shutter now will close. Or if you don't want to hold onto the shutter release while the picture you're taking is being exposed to the film, all you have to do is press this down and turn it counterclockwise, and then just leave it there, and then probably 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and then it will expose the picture you're taking, registering to your film right here, okay? And then push it a bit further downward, and then turn it clockwise, and then it will be released, okay? So you have here the speed, the bulb, 1 of the 30th, second for the flash right there, X, 1 of the 60th, okay, 125th right there, 1 to 250th, and then the fastest would be 1 to 500 of a second, okay? That's the fastest. So if you're using the camera with this fastest speed of 500, so you can probably set the aperture to a wider opening, the f2, okay? I can show you right here. So this is the HELIOS 44M-4, no, 48mm. That is very legendary. Okay, this is a legendary HELIOS 44M-4, okay, 48mm. Now this one produced this so-called swirly bokeh, as they used to call it, or they used to term it. So this is now famous for bloggers and for those people who are using digital camera, and they will adapt this one, no? This technically manual thing for you to focus, okay, and to adjust your aperture. Now I was talking earlier about the aperture. Now this is the smallest opening of the aperture, the 16f, and this one is the or rather f16, okay, sorry, and this is f2. So if I will show you this one, you see, if you are setting it on this f2, the lights, no, it's too open, okay, and then you set it to 16, okay, and see that will close. So if I will turn this on the left side, okay, turn this counterclockwise, okay, the aperture will open going to 2, and then I will turn it clockwise, and then the aperture will close. Now this will now control the light that's coming in from your to your lens and going to your camera, okay? Now this one is famous in the so-called depth of field, now wherein the foreground is blurry compared to your subject, you know, and of course to your background. This is very famous to photographers, no? Now I will explain a bit further by why it is called the SLR, no, single lens reflex, no, camera. So if you can just notice, if I'll open the back of this one, okay, you can notice, okay, there is a mirror right there, now that the image now is going right here, and then it is it will now be reflected up right there, and then there's a point of vision right there, another mirror right here, then go back, no, reflect, and then you can see it to the viewfinder, no. So if you expose your film to your subject, not to your picture, place it in the B mode, okay, the image that is will be captured will go directly, no, will go directly to your film right there. there's your film, and then it will be exposed, and then it will close again. That's the basic operation of a SLR. No? But this one is it's manual. Okay. One thing about this good about this also is there's no battery. You don't have to place any battery for you to operate this because this is operated manually. But there's also an exposure meter right here. This exposure meter, and then there are actually two. One there is a pointer right there that's white. Okay, I think it's visible, and then there's a circle. So if this one is exposed, example, to your subject, and then all you have to do is to move this right there, and then place the pointer in the middle of the circle right there. Okay, I think it's in the middle right now. Okay, and then if your film is as a ISO 100, so you can probably place there 100, and then your exposure will be seen right here. Okay, I think it's have to focus our camera. So if you want your speed to be sample, since this is during the night time, there's no sun right there, so it's basically the most probably the slowest speed you can use is 30 right there. 30, I think it's visible right there. Okay, 30, and then the opening would be f2, so your speed would be 30, and then your aperture would be f2, and then you have to focus it, and then you can ready to take your picture. Okay, so basically I'll be using this camera in some of my whenever we go out with the family, but the problem is film is quite expensive right now. I check it online, and the cheapest I found was 400 pesos, and then that would be ASA 100, and some are even as high as 500, and black and white is something that I really love to use when I was in college, and it's really expensive, about 600, 500. So but the one thing good about it is film based, it's purely analog, and you can there's no way for you to see the picture but to have it developed. That's why it really something that you can look forward, no, trying to take pictures and then go to your developing center and then have the film developed, and that's it. It's a thing that I truly missed when I was using this DSLR, or rather SLR before. That's why I intend to use this again. Okay, so I just hope that I can well, I need to adjust because I'm used to using my cell phone and my DSLR, but this one is something that I'm looking forward to be using. Well, in the near future, I'll take some pictures and then I'll show it to everybody if it's okay, no? And again, thank you very much for this review.